These are my top 5 front row and back row rides. Warning, this video contains flashing lights. My number 5 spot, we've got Wicker Man. This ride's really good. It packs a punch. It's quite intense. It's overall a good ride, but I feel like you'll get the best experience in your hands. Number 4, Swarm at Thorpe Park. I like this ride because when you do the first drop, you just go under the track or over the track, as you'll see in a second. So the left side will go under and the right side will go over. I personally, if you're on the front row, I would go over. My number 3 spot, we've got Smiler at Alton Towers. I'm pretty sure all of you will know this ride if you're watching. This ride's the world's first 14 looping roller coaster. It's really good if you're not on a wheel seat. If you're on a wheel seat, it's really rough and I wouldn't recommend it. My number 2 spot, personally my favourite ride, Solar Ride at Thorpe Park. I love this ride. It's up there with Hyperia, but I feel like it's a bit rough at places and a bit jolty. But yeah, this ride's really good. I love how you ascend the vertical lift hill and drop the 100-degree drop, which is beyond vertical, and then into that little element there. It's a really good ride. It's very intense and it does pack a punch. So this is one of my top rides. Number 1, Nemesis Reborn at Alton Towers. This ride is really good and it's just so intense on the front row. This ride's like one of the best rides I've been on for the front row. That's why I've put it number 1. But this ride is really good. That car you see on the video, I was on that front row. And yeah, it was just really good. This ride is amazing. And my number 5 for back row roller coasters is Revolution at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. This ride is intense, it's fast, it's whippy, but for it going in a straight line, it is incredibly rough. I'm not joking, you go in a straight line and it still manages to break every bone in your body. Number 4, we've got Smiler once again. This ride's really good front and back, and yeah, I would recommend riding this ride anywhere really. Middle's good, back's good, front's good, anywhere's good on Smiler, as long as you're not on a wheel seat, because wheel seats hurt a lot. Number 3 spot, we've got Colossus at Thorpe Park. This ride is one of my favourites actually. I really like this ride, but I think it's underrated. It's really good back row. I've not been front row on it, but I've got back row. So this ride is up there for me. Colossus is really good. This airtime hill, right after the first teardrop loop, is really forceful. Number 2, we've got Nemesis again. Nemesis is good wherever you sit on it really. Nemesis is a really good ride. You get a different experience where you sit. So front row's intense, back row's whippy, well I think it is. Middle's just a bit tamer than the front and the back. I would recommend going on the front or the back for this ride. This ride's one of my favourite rides ever. Number 1, you might hate me for this, but it's Rita. I would say Rita's one of the best back roads because you get like proper pulled into that launch. All the airtime hills after that first launch are really, really like good. You get dragged over them almost. But the fact this ride goes 0 to 60 miles per hour, I think, is mental, and it's way better on the back row. So this has got to be one of my favourite rides when it comes to riding it on back row. If it was front row, middle, anywhere else, I would hate this ride, but just because of how good it is on the back row, I've managed to slot it in this list. Like when you go over the time hills, you get like pulled over them. It's like you're riding a jet ski and you get whiplash over the hills. It's really good. I would recommend Back Row.